Here again with another Lucifer Season 2 episode review video before I if you are caught up to the point where you're watching Lucifer or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And of course, this episode was a first time watch for me. This will be Lucifer Season 2, Episode 14. The title of this episode is called Candy Morningstar. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. Seems to be a party of sorts at Lux. Charlotte/Mum asks a random guy, why did her son abandon her? I went to hell for him, which is true. It's been 2 weeks and no word from Lucifer. Maze bets Lucifer has plotted his revenge as we speak. Lucifer is seen having a meeting and wanting someone to hand it over. The person says it's your funeral. Dan and Chloe are talking about Lucifer. It's been 2 weeks and Chloe is now over it. Ella Lopez misses Lucifer as he was the best hugger. Dead body time, cause of death, blunt force trauma or blunt trauma. The victim was a guitar player for a band. Dan and Chloe talk with the victim's band members, and then Dan and Chloe go back to the precinct. Detective! Chloe stops. Chloe asks her, or says, you're okay. You go AWOL for 2 weeks, and then you have the nerve to come here and shush me. Daniel has some explaining to do. Or Dan says you have some explaining to do. So Lucifer is back. He has disappeared for a while. And now he has a wife, Candy Morningstar. And she has a very nice rack. That's what people see when they look at her. And Lucifer tells Chloe he should have told her he needed time off. And we find out that Candy is an exotic dancer. You think they like me? Candy says to Lucifer. He says, what's not to like? Chloe talks to Ash's ex-wife, that's our victim. Amenadiel informs Mum that Lucifer's now married. Detective, word? You're still here? Shouldn't you be on a honeymoon far, far away? Candy points out a man in the photo that they're looking at pictures, and there's a man in the photo that matches one of the pictures. Well done, Candy. This is fun. Murder, suspects, clues. It feels good to be back. Chloe tells Lucifer he let her down. She doesn't need him as a partner anymore. The partnership ended when he ghosted Chloe. So we're talking about high school shit now of ghosting people. Lucifer and Candy together go to see Dr. Martin. And full disclosure here, you don't have to hide anything from Candy. She's my wife. Say what you want to say, essentially. And Lucifer says him and Chloe were quite the crime-fighting duo. Lucifer was following Dan without him noticing, but he knows when he's being followed. Lucifer tells Chloe that him and Candy want to go undercover to help out with the investigation. And then Lucifer tells Chloe that she's prejudiced against exotic dancers if he didn't know any better. Lucifer introduces Candy to Mum. Do you like shopping? Do I? So Candy and Charlotte Mum go shopping, and May says Candy's bra size is equal to her IQ. Chloe says, that's generous. May suggests to Chloe that her and Lucifer need a mediator. Now, Chloe goes undercover as Candy, so she's doing her best impression of somebody she just met to speak to the potential suspect that Candy had identified in not only a mugshot, but one of the photos. And Lucifer tells Chloe that he's been through hell, literally and figuratively. Chloe talks to the suspect, flirting with him to make it worth his while. And then Lucifer asks Anthony, that's our suspect, what he desires. He says he wanted Ash's band to be the biggest band ever. So some of these people's desires are really kind of lame in some of these episodes. Ash was buying all the albums with his ex-wife's money, and they were wondering where all the money went, and that's where it went, to boost album sales, to get them notoriety, to get them on talk shows and different things. Mom says that Candy may be the most formidable opponent she's ever faced, she tells Amenadiel, and Mom thinks Lucifer may truly be broken. Ella Lopez for a moment is happy that Lucifer and Chloe patched things up, but they haven't, and Chloe is now after Marla, one of the band members, and Lucifer is a special guest for something with that band, as Chloe was looking for Marla. He has a special song for a woman that says the woman doesn't need him anymore. She doesn't need him anymore. And Chloe gets really happy with this. But it turns out Lucifer is singing for Marla. Well, I don't think that was the case. See? You need me, Chloe smiles. Amenadiel, after speaking with Lucifer, figures out that Lucifer is only protecting Chloe. Like, he doesn't want to get too close because he doesn't know what's going to happen. And Marla tells Chloe and Dan she didn't kill Ash. She ran because she was making fake IDs. Now they're on to Doug Kennedy, who was the bass player, and Doug Kennedy actually attacks Lucifer with something around his neck, and Chloe ends up shooting Doug as he was trying to strangle Lucifer, but Lucifer was telling him to go ahead and do it because his life doesn't mean anything, like making Chloe essentially feel guilty. And then Candy thanks Chloe for saving Lucifer and how he's always detective this and detective that. He's always about his work. Chloe tells Lucifer, see you tomorrow at the precinct. Don't be late. Mom wants to be honest with Lucifer, and she mentions something about the flaming sword is here. So I'm sure we'll learn more about that in the episodes to come. It'll probably play a role in the finale, which is like 4 episodes away or something like that. And it turns out that Candy was just acting and did a job well done, Lucifer says. And Lucifer, I get why you had me con your family, but what is going on with you and Detective Decker? It's none of my business, but I wouldn't screw that one up. Try not to, as the episode ends. So, pretty fun episode of Lucifer, an unexpected character in Candy that kind of stole the show. So I'm going to give the episode an 8.5 out of 10. My character of the episode for the females, I'm going to give it to Candy. You could easily give it to Chloe, Maze. And then for the males, well, Lucifer was pretty awesome in this episode. So Candy and Lucifer, the happy couple that aren't actually a couple. It was a scam all along, and I'm interested to see where things go. I hope we end up seeing Candy again, because I just kind of like her character, especially when she was actually being real and not playing the stripper or the exotic dancer role. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lucifer and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing that like button. I can wait. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts and opinions are on this episode. What would you score the episode, assuming you've watched it recently? And who, if you had to choose, would be your male and female character of the episode? Or if you just want to do one overall, which would always be Lucifer probably, you can do that. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel as you're watching the video anyway. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return as soon as I find out what it is that you desire.